Hey YouTube, MegaHevie here, and today I'm going to be doing a review on the Nikon D3200 DSLR camera. So this is my very first DSLR camera, and I've now had it about, I'd say a year, I'm not quite sure, but I think I got it in April, May last year, and in that time it's not let me down at all. I've been so happy with the result in terms of pictures and video. Both have been amazing, and I'm so happy that I picked this model, and it's just been a great DSLR for me as a beginner. And so today I'm going to be doing a review on this DSLR for you, and I'm going to be showing you, around the DSLR and also the features it has, focusing, also testing with pictures and video, and talking about, also external microphones which you can add onto here, showing you what's in the box, and then, some tips that I've learned and what I've used to use this camera in terms of focusing, changing batteries and charging, and like SD cards, all that kind of stuff. Any tips I have, I'll be sharing those with you. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and let me know in the comments, and if you've got any questions as well, you can leave them in the comments below and I'll be happy to answer them for you. So I've had this camera, I've said, for a year now, so I should be able to answer the majority of the questions that you have. Let's just get started, and yeah. So let's get a closer look into the Nikon D3200. So I've just zoomed in the camera a little bit. Before I start, I just want to say sorry about any lighting changes or like exposure changes or anything like that. I'm currently sitting near a big window where there's lots of sun streaming in, but I can't really control when it goes behind the clouds, stuff like that. So here is the Nikon D3200, as I've said about 100 times. I've currently got on the kit lens, which is what comes with the camera, kit lens, yeah. So I've got the 18 to 55mm one, which on its own I think is a great lens, especially if you're interested in doing YouTube videos, like, I don't know, beauty guru stuff especially. The kit lens works fine, to be honest. I mean, if you really want that extra quality, you can go for a different lens. But this lens is just brilliant for me. I use this, I think, the most out of the two lenses I have. And then up here we've got our various buttons. So we've got the on-off button here, which you literally just move like that. There we go. On and off. You also have exposure. I think that's exposure change. You can also change the info shown on the screen if you want to see how much memory you've got left and stuff like that. You can change how much info is shown on your screen. You've got a dedicated recording button, which I think is really helpful because that's, ergonomically placed there, so you can easily press that there. Here you've got your scroll with all the different settings. If you want to have a closer look, here's what's on the camera. We've got auto, which I use the most, non-flash, portrait, landscape, all that kind of good stuff, and then all the manual settings here. And a guide as well, which I haven't really looked into because I'm pretty confident with this camera now, but there's a guide there if you get stuck. So there we go. Here, I'm not quite sure what this is. I think maybe something to do with the focus. I'm sure if you're a proper DSLR guru, you'll know what that means. Maybe leave in the comments for me, because I have no idea what that is. Here you've got a scroll. I think this is to do with, the lens and the focusing and depth of field and aperture and stuff like that, that control. Here you've got live view. This is what you use if you want to record. You go onto this, so you can, because you can't record when it's on the normal screen, you have to go into live view to record, so that's there. Got your scroll here, when you're scrolling through your photos or videos. Again, not quite sure what this is, I never really use it. Delete buttons easily there. On this side, we've got our playback button, so we can easily look at our pictures and videos. Menu, which I'll show you later with all these different settings. Zooming in and out of photos. And again, I don't know what that button does. If you know, let me know. And then here, you've got external microphone options here. So you can actually put a external microphone on to get that extra sound quality, which I've thought about getting, but I'll tell you why I haven't in a minute when I come to focusing and stuff. You've got your AV out, HDMI to connect to the TV, I believe, and GPS. Again, I don't know what that is. And then on the side here, I think it's to do with flash and FN. Again, I don't know what that is. And then this button is for taking off your lens. And then obviously this white little dot here is to show you where to line up the lens when you put it on. And it did take me a bit of practice to get on my lens perfectly. I was very cautious that I didn't put it on badly. And then here is just my lens settings. I've got it on manual mode. I'll tell you why in a minute and stuff like that. And VR as well is also on this kit lens. Also, I forgot to mention that on the side here, you've got your SD slot. It does take SD cards. And I transport my pictures and videos onto the computer using a card reader, which was about £10, but it's so helpful. So that is just an overview of the external part of the DSLR, and also we got here the flash that pops up, and here's where you place your external microphone, I believe, or extra flash there. So I'm going to go into the actual camera now and show you, the different settings and also experiment with focus and stuff like that. This is the screen that you're greeted with, and it will just show you like aperture and stuff like that. And then obviously you look through here to take photos and stuff. But I'm the kind of person that goes on to live view and decides to take pictures like this. I just find it easier to see on the bigger screen what I'm taking a photo of. But I think professionals don't actually do this, but I'm not really a professional as of yet. So I do prefer to do it on live view. And again, if you want to take videos, which I'll show you now, you just press the top button. Recording. You have to go into live view. So I'll show you all that kind of video stuff in a minute. Now I'll show you what's on the menu, what we've got here, and sort of options. So we've got all this general stuff, movie settings. It does full recording at 25 frames per second, but you can get 50 frames per second, per second on 720p, which is still HD but not full HD, but you do get that if you're focusing on slow motion. So you can record on that as well, which is really great. Then you've got different settings like this. I'm sure you know what these are. All that kind of stuff, nothing too amazing, just the usual, just showing you a bit there. And it's got sort of filter effects here. I was about to scroll, I don't know why. Filters, distortion, wow, it's got a lot here, which I haven't even really looked at. And then just all that kind of stuff. So that's what's on the menu. And then, as I said, if you want to have a look at your videos, you can just press play and you can easily just watch them back. There we go, so you can easily see that there. Now, I'm going to go into focusing now and sort of lenses and what I like to use and sort of reviews on that. So that's what we'll do next. So as I did say, I do use the kit lens for the majority of the time, and here it is now. It's just the 18 to 55mm, and I've also got, let me just get it, I've got a telephoto lens, I believe that's the name, where you can do sort of longer shots and get them in very good focus, which I got for Christmas from my dad. Thank you, Dad. The 55 to 200mm is what I have as well. This one is for longer shots. So I've got those two lenses there. But as I said, majority of the time I do use the kit lens because it is easier. Now, in terms of focusing, I like to use, manual focus. And this, I just find it's easier. I mean, you might think autofocus is easier, but I've had this problem, I think lots of people do, where, especially in video, if you're trying to focus on auto mode, you can hear a clicky sound, which I'll show you in some video tests in a minute. And it was so annoying, and also sometimes you can't really have the control and freedom to focus on what you actually want to focus on. I just feel with manual focus it's just so much easier to focus, and all you need to do for manual focus is just turn this ring and it will just focus wherever you want it to, and you don't get that, or you get minor sound of a lens, adjusting. So that's the reason why I didn't really think about getting an external microphone, which costs about £100. But obviously, if you want to be doing professional filming, then you may want to get that extra external microphone, which this allows, to get that extra sound quality. So that's the sort of focusing I use. In terms of pictures, again, I use manual for the majority of time. I know you don't get that sound, but I just like that freedom to be able to focus on what you want. And it does, I believe, it has 24 megapixels, I think, which is actually double, almost, what the D3100 has. And this is why I went for the D3200. So, and it was only about £50 more. So that's in terms of pictures and videos. So now I've just talked about that. I'm going to be doing some tests now. So I'm going to show you some pictures which I took on this camera, and also some videos testing with the auto and manual focus on both these lenses, so you can have a little look. So I know lots of people are interested in that. So let's get into that. So I'm now currently recording on the 55 to 200mm lens, and this is on manual focus, so I'm going to just show you what that's like and that kind of stuff. So because I am on telephoto, I can't really get onto sort of macro shots. Can to an extent though. So I'm currently on manual focus on the 18 to 55mm lens, and I'm just going to show you, what I can film like, and also if you listen out for any sounds of me focusing, if that's going to be a concern to you. But you shouldn't be able to hear much or anything, to be honest, so I will be quiet now and you can have a little listen. So now in autofocus mode, I'm going to show you the difference in sound you can hear when it tries to focus, and also, how it focuses. But generally the quality will be the same, but there we go. Focus in there. I mean, I can hear it even without, watching the video, so I'm presuming it's quite loud. Again, I wanted to focus on the lady, but it didn't focus there. There we go. So as you can see, this is definitely why I prefer using manual focus. I'm going to be using autofocus on the 55 to 200mm lens. Wow, that sounds much louder than the 18-55mm lens one. Wow, this is definitely why I prefer manual focus. So I'm also going to show you a little clip of 720p with 50 frames per second. So this is HD, but it's not full HD. But it is a really helpful thing if you do prefer to do a bit of slow motion and just get those extra frames in. So you can see it's moving a bit fast. You can see a bit more motion here. So I'm just going to show you my dad's guitars, which are really pretty. Basically, the more frames you have, the slow motion will look better. So yeah, there we go. So hopefully you would have seen from those videos, the sort of quality that the D3200 has to offer, and trying out the different lenses and focusing in video and stuff like that. Now I'm going to go on to unboxing the box, and I'll also show you what's in my bag, like keep my actual DSLR in, which is why I keep my other bits in. So just move the camcorder up. So I'm just going to get off the chair so I can easily show you. So pretty big box, obviously, it would be, because it's got a lot of stuff. So you get your obvious, user manual, and if you look inside, obviously you get the camera and all that stuff, and the kit lens, if you buy it with the kit lens. Here you've got I'm not really sure what it is, I've never used it, I haven't need to use it. It's a DVD, I think it says QuickTime on it, so it's probably something to do with video. Not quite sure what that is though. Okay, someone needs to help me. What actually is this? I have no idea what it is. If you know what it is, please let me know, because I might be missing out here. I think it's maybe something to do with maybe the top of the camera here. I'm not quite sure, but I don't really know what that is, to be honest. And then you also get cables. Here we've got one USB cable, and then here we've got I think HDMI cable, one for the TV, that kind of thing. That's what you get in the box. You'll also get the battery charger. I think they probably do all have it. And the good thing is, I actually have 2 batteries. I don't know if you get 2 batteries with it. I think you probably do. But the good thing about that is that you don't have to stop using your camera if it runs out of battery, because you can just have this other one charged and then put that in and then swap and then charge it in the background. So it's so helpful that they do this. I don't know if you get 2 batteries or I bought this, but definitely if you don't get it, definitely buy another battery, because it's so helpful. Because when you run out of battery, you're like, oh, but then all you have to do is just change to get the other one. So just make sure it's charging in the background. So you get get 2 of those, I believe, and various mounts and covers and stuff like that. So that's all you get, really, which I think is pretty good. So that's what there is in terms of the box. Definitely wear a strap. I again don't know if you get one with the box. I've had this for a year, so I can't remember what exactly I got, whether I got this with the bag or not. But seriously, if you don't get one, invest in one. It will save you like hundreds of pounds, because if you break this, you will be devastated. And so I recommend getting a really strong one like this. This is the Nikon one. And just a note as well, these little straps here, you need to like pull them every now and then because they do become loose. I always just pull this just to make sure it's definitely going to be stable. And just, if you can avoid it, don't just have it hanging from your neck. Just try and hold it wherever possible, because this does cost a lot of money. So now, in terms of talking about money, I will now go on to how much I got this for and where I got it. So I got it for, I think it was 300 and I think maybe £30. And I think I got it from like Curry's. But the D3100, which I was talking about earlier, is about like £50 cheaper, but this does have like almost like 10 extra megapixels. So if you are focusing on pictures, you know, try and get this one. In terms of video though, if you're doing video, I don't really think it would matter. So maybe just get a cheaper body, but good for its price, like 24 megapixels. It's just so easy to use. I love Nikon. I've got their digital camera, which I've shown you before. The only thing is, if you are trying to do videos of yourself, especially like beauty gurus I'm shouting out here, there isn't a flip screen, so it's kind of awkward to see if you're in focus and stuff like that. That would be the only problem. But this is such a brilliant camera, and obviously that plus of being able to put an external microphone on the top is so helpful, or a flash. I don't actually know the technical name, but yeah, that kind of thing. And it's just a brilliant DSLR. So overall, I strongly recommend it. I've shown you like pros and cons. To be honest, there aren't that many cons. I thought there was a problem with the focusing, but really, it's just, you're always going to get that problem with the autofocus. You've just got to use manual, really. Anyway, so thank you so much for watching. Please give this video a thumbs up if you've enjoyed it and you want more reviews on any gadgets I have. Also, please subscribe if you haven't already. MegaHevie, it should be on the page somewhere, like down there maybe, or there'll be an annotation at the end of the video. Check out my other videos. I've done piano tutorials, more reviews as well. I've done one on this camcorder that I filmed this review on, and my digital camera, my few phones I have as well, so check those out. And I've also done lyric videos, stuff like that, so if you're interested, please check those out. Otherwise, I'll see you again soon. Thank you for watching. Hey YouTube, MegaHevie here, and today I'm going to be doing a tutorial to Fall Back by Cimarelli.